Hi, this is Caroleena. I've had quite a few people lately ask me to do a tutorial on transitions. That's really hard because there's so many different kinds of transitions. Transition means to move from one thing to another thing. And in hooping you can move from one plane to another plane, from one direction to another direction, from one level to another level, from one speed to another speed. You are constantly changing, your grip changes when you're hooping on your hands. You can transition from on the body to off the body, or off the body to on the body. And of course there's dance moves to transition between also. So it's a huge topic and I've tried to figure out how to break it down and pass it on as quick as I can, since YouTube gives you 10 minutes. And what I think it breaks down to is that you are the axis in the hoop, whether it is your body, meaning your core, or your hand, or your arm, or your leg, or your foot, or your neck. And to change anything, then you change that axis. So if you want to change the plane from horizontal to vertical, you tip the axis. And you can do that in any number of directions. Once you've adjusted the axis, you exert pressure and either increase or decrease speed and execute the move. So I'm going to try to do a little tutorial that talks about how you bend planes to move between all these different levels. On the body and off the body, and then is going to give you, I hope, some information about how to a quick fix for how to figure out a bunch of moves that you can transition between, and then a larger part that talks about how to improv and figure out all the different things that you can do and how to transition between them. So the first part of this is going to start with plane bending on the body. Let me grab a hoop. Should have had this ready. All tangled. Okay, if you are hooping on the body and it's on your waist, your push points are probably either front and back or side to side, or you're doing a small circle with your waist. So if I want to change my plane from flat and horizontal to vertical, I can exert my push points up and down until I've changed directions. To straighten it back out, I exert them again forward and backwards. I can also adjust where the hoop is on my body by an easy, quick way to think about it is speed. If I go slower, the hoop comes down. If I go faster, the hoop tends to come up. There are a couple of ways to move the hoop up our body. One of them I call swirling. So if you picture the hoop as going this way and swirling slowly down, then think of yourself applying pressure from the underside of the hoop and swirling it back up. So if it's coming down because your swirl is getting smaller, make your swirl bigger and it will reverse the direction. The other option is to drop into your hoop. So if you pretend like you've got a little string on your coccyx bone, so it's going to pull you straight down like you're sitting flat on your behind. If you wait till your hoop is coming around from the side and sit down, then it's going to hit you at a new push point. And you just push into that point and stand up, and suddenly the hoop is up here. This is a really handy transition for when you're learning to move the hoop from your waist to your chest, because it allows you to kind of drop past your breast if you're a girl. It allows you to kind of go, okay, it's here. And as it comes back around, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to drop so that it hits me here. And I stand back up, and now it's up here. Okay, you can also transition from, so we've got bending, forward to the side, back to front. We've got dropping, swirling, increasing and decreasing speed to bend your plane while it's still on the core. You can also interrupt it with your hand, which is where the lifts come in. You can let it land on your hand so that that becomes the axis and lift your hand up. You can move it to your shoulders just by dropping your arms in, where they become the axis. And any lift that you can do from any plane. So, and we're getting ready to start talking about handing changes and grips and whatnot. But just to start with, if you can do this lift right here, the lift from behind, then to move your hoop from off the body, except instead of above the body having it in front of you, all you've got to do is wait till you get ready to start that lift and lean forward. I didn't do a very good job of it there, but if I'm hooping here and I just bend forward and do that same lift, now it's in front of me. So you can lift it on and off you in any direction using one of two methods. I call one the coaxing the hoop with you, where you just kind of like let it land on you and gently lift. Or you might, if I have it above my head and I want to bring it down to the plane in front of me, if I have the time to take it nice and slow, then I can bring my hand down in a tomahawk chop so that my 2 points, instead of being up here going front, back, become up, down, up, down, up, down. And if I need to, if I feel it running up my arms, I can put my thumb on it and keep it on the hand. But I've moved it from straight above to in front, and now from in front to back above. Now if you don't have time, so that's coaxing it. If we don't have time, we can manhandle it. We can just wait until it crosses across the palm of our hand, then close our grip on it and push it down. We've instantly changed planes. We change it again, we close it and change it. So there's nudging, there's manhandling, and then there's a variety of different ways that you can interact with the hoop with your handing changes. And if you just practice all of them, it will teach you so much about different ways that you can use your hoop. So we can hold our hoop from the inside, from the outside, from the bottom side, from the top side, from either one of these sides, outside or inside. So just take your hoop, and right now I'm using a firm grip, a tight grip. My hand is tightly holding that hoop, so if I hold it level, it's just going to stay there. I can also use a grip that I call the lobster claw if I want to let my hand slide on my hoop. So right now, a lobster claw, even when it's closed, it still has that hole in the center. So when we're using our lobster claw, then it allows us to do things like sliding through the hands, sliding. If we're holding the hoop like this, we can slide through this way. We can slide, let's see, this way, step throughs. And it's because the hoop is sliding inside of our lobster claw. We have kind of a grip, but not a grip that would hold it out like this. Other handing changes that you can have is sometimes you'll be hooping and you're hooping on your whole hand, but not usually. You're usually just hooping on this place right here where you have 4 fingers through the hoop and your thumb is not. One of the biggest handing changes you will ever do is go in between fingers, put your thumb in, take your fingers out. Put your fingers in, take your thumb out. Practicing thumb hooping in every direction is incredibly helpful for when it's time to practice doing things like step throughs, where your grip change is going from right now my fingers are through the hoop, now my thumb is through it from behind, and now I'm stepping through it. So we can hold the hoop. Right now my fingers have come through the hoop from the back side, but if I was hooping behind me, I would put my thumb in and then my fingers in, and now my fingers are pointing back for behind the back hooping. So let's see, thumb, finger, hand, tight, loose, lobster claw. Oh, and just exerting regular pressure. So you can actually do a stall on your hand too. If your hoop is coming around your hand and you want it to stall at any point, you can stall it on the edge, you can stall on the palm, on the back. I'm going to stall on the palm. So watch my palm. I'm just going to push my palm into it and match my speed with the hoop's speed. And it makes the hoop stall on my palm. So then when I'm ready to adjust it again, I can either go front and back, I can go up and down, I can move it back and forth between this, doing the infinity sign. The infinity just means that you pretend like you have a piece of chalk in your hand and you're doing a circle front, circle behind, a circle in front, and a circle behind. And you can do this all the way up the body and all the way down the other side. So practice it first, just like you're drawing a circle, and then put your hoop in your hand and do the same thing, which I can't do in here. I don't think, because of my ceilings. I wish y'all could see my ceilings. It looks like a Sidney Pollock painting. Jackson Pollock. Oops, Jackson Pollock. Okay.